Steady progress reported on 3 major road infrastructure development projects as government continues to address the issue of deplorable road conditions in various parishes across the country. We get more in this report from Sherry and Noel.
A thorough update on major infrastructure projects on road rehabilitation projects now underway was shared with the general public by Prime Minister and Minister for Infrastructure Honorable Deacon Mitchell during the government's post-cabinet briefing on Wednesday. This section of the Molinere Road, which has been out of commission for a significant period of time due to severe slippage of land, was the first project reported on by Honorable Deacon Mitchell. After numerous delays and design changes, the road is now set to be reopened to vehicular traffic in the month of November.
The road in Molinere will be open in November. The bridge is completed, and the concrete slabs have been built. I actually drove over the road myself on Monday afternoon on my way to St. Patrick. The contractors are completing the work before the bridge in terms of the base coarse materials to compact the road, and therefore once that is done and the road is asphalted, the public will have access to the road, and we will expect persons to be able to drive over the road in November. I repeat, as it stands now, you can in fact drive over the bridge. You may have a little inconvenience in having your car dirtied a little by the base coarse material that is before the bridge on either side, but the road will be completed in November. So I want to point that out because I think I saw clips from a television program on Monday night that suggested that the presenter was saying the road will not be open in November. I'm not so sure what basis that was used for.
Honorable Deacon Mitchell says, however, while the road will open in November, the project will not come to an end as there is still work to be completed in the stabilization of the embankment on the upper slope of the constructed roadway as well as the lower slope.
Because a lot of the material that is downslope is materials that were simply cut off from the hill and dumped at the bottom, and obviously we have the sea at the bottom. So we will engage in ensuring that we can take the necessary steps to make sure that the upslope is stabilized as well as the downslope. So that's the outstanding part of the work that will have to continue, but that will not in any way impact the access, vehicular access or pedestrian access to the road come November.
An update was also given on roadworks ongoing on the True Blue Road, which is expected to be completed by the first quarter of 2025.
Because we're seeking not only to do what would be the main thoroughfare in True Blue, but there are also some back roads there that have not been attended to in the last 40 or 50 years, and we're seeking to have that done. And I want to point that out because that is road infrastructure that has sat in pretty much the same state for the last 4 decades. The road, I believe, was built when Uncle Gary had Expo, and since then no significant work has been done on the road, and I don't need to point to it that there are major businesses, including hotels, including St. George's University, and a number of restaurants and so on, as well as significant residences in the area.
The government also intends to address the road from Sugar Mill Roundabout through Montu onto the Woodlands Junction.
The road widening and the construction of sidewalks throughout Grandlands and Montu, and the Montu Grandlands Valley area, Woodlands area, because it's a heavily built-up area with significant civilian population, and there are extensive periods of the road where there are no sidewalks and people are walking the road, and the road itself is not the widest road. So we certainly intend to expand the road and to build sidewalks, and this is a project that we will look to commence in 2025 into 2026. As I've indicated previously as well, we would also be addressing the area of the Western Main Road known as Mabuya, which has remained like this for almost, perhaps more than 2 decades now, and has not been addressed. And it leads to, again, people having to take detours up the West Coast. So every time you think you fixed one area of the main road, on the Western Main Road, you then have to detour another area, and it makes the journey for our citizens on that side of the road particularly problematic. So we are hoping to be able to tackle Mabuya so that you can drive from St. George's to Gov in the first instance without having to take detours into smaller and more dangerous roads.
The issue of rehabilitation of the nation's roadway is one that Prime Minister Mitchell says has to be taken in phases.
Point Salines, all the way to the Carenage, we intend to resurface the Grandlands Main Road. We have not been able to move as aggressively as we would like on this because of the Southern Water program, which involves obviously laying pipelines from the Sendell Tunnel all the way down to Point Saline, which means the road is going to have to be trenched and the pipes are going to have to be laid. And we also in discussions with Greenlink to see whether it is possible, because we want to dig once, to see whether as part of addressing our resilience to hurricanes and our transmission and distribution lines, whether parts of Greenlink's transmission and distribution lines could potentially go underground as well. So we don't want to obviously resurface the road, do the civil works, put in the sidewalks, improve the drainage and the culverts, and then 2 months later we are digging up the road. So that is something obviously but we certainly intend to begin to address this in 2025.
For the GIS News, I am Sherry Ann Noel.